All right, we're on Maple Bay Hole 1, par 4. I didn't have a video for this, so I happened to catch this hole yesterday. This was in the 2018 Winter Major. Not sure why I didn't have some holes. It was these. Sometimes they put these tournaments in holiday weeks, and it's difficult to get them all in. So on this hole right here, just trying to get up on there. I believe if I remember correctly, there is a way to get over there in one. Trying to bring out a really big ball and trying to get your bounces right so that you can get over there in one. But here's the deal with this type of shot. When you're taking these types of shots and you're trying to get on in one, when we talk about risk versus reward, there are times when you take the risk and if you fail, you end up in the sand or the rough and you're off. But the reward is that if you're on, you're taking a putt. And so in those situations, when I weigh them as a player, like the risk versus reward, hey, the risk is that I end up in the sand or the rough, or I can get on in one. And that seems like a pretty good risk versus reward scenario. But when you have this blue stuff out here, that water, that is epic fail time where you will actually get out of bounds if you go for that shot. And if you go for a shot like that and end up out of bounds, that is, as my nephew would say, is no bueno. That is bad, really bad. Because at that point, let's say you come on a hole like this and you epic fail and you end up in the water and you're really trying to get on over there in one. Your only choice on the second shot is to do the same thing again. You have to go for it. You can't go, okay, I'm going to just lay it up and do the thing. If you go for a shot and you end up out of bounds, you are on a track. You cannot waver. You have to then go for it again because you have to get up on there like you were hoping to do the first time and then make that next shot so that you can get back on track to get your birdie and move on. So you have no recourse. I mean, you have no choice. Your only other hope is that your opponent will get the eagle. But this is one of those holes that you have to weigh the risk versus reward. And I'm 100% sure that we can work a shot to get on. And I will explore that this week with a 5-power ball, bringing out a big club and see if we can get the bounces in the right spot so that if you hit everything perfect, it'll bounce from here and get over. And if we can get that shot done and see if it's a replicatable shot. But I'm not sure that it is. And I'm definitely not interested in getting an out of bounds. To me, that risk versus reward scenario is not good, but we will explore this. But I think the main thing here is to just get out up here in the front in this area, and then you've got a short iron to get in and try and sink that shot. And the way that this hole is set up, you can actually bring a low wind ball here. Now my opponent, let's see how they're doing. My opponent's using a using a 3-power ball to get up there. If I remember correctly on this hole, I bring out a Marlin. So you can actually come at this with like a Santa ball. So that on the second shot, you're cutting the wind way down. I go through several club permutations to see what the deal is. And the extra mile 9, if you've got that in your bag, this is really changing the game, especially if you're bringing out bigger equipment. And I may be able to get over there easier than what it was when we played this tournament. Now, you'll notice how I'm set up here. I'm set up a little closer to the left on this side, and then I'm going to put curl to bring it around on the other side of that sand. And you can easily get this done with a lower developed ball. That's why I'm saying we could bring out one of the 3 side spin, 5 wind, Oceana, Santa balls. There's several balls that are in that range to get us up here. So my opponent bought a 3-power ball, and with what they netted versus just bringing a 0 power, There are several ways that you can get up on that. If you're doing this type of shot, there are some shots that I think the backspin is going to get you closer, but this type of shot right here, consistency wise, is one of those holes that you can run the ball up to the cup. And if you watch my videos on a regular basis, I do a lot of backspin shots on some par threes, but they're usually low percentage. I mean, you're always close. They're always heartbreakers. But coming at it and then running it up there, you have a little more control of the ball. So I'm in minimum club right here. Usually when I'm doing these types of shots with my short iron, I always like to have just a little teeny bit of backspin. Go right at the cup. So I'd be 2.1 per ring. So there's 4.2, there's 5.3. So we're just a little over 2.5 rings. This is where the big 5 wind ball would come in really handy. Isn't it perfect? And up just a little bit to the right of the cup. And that's one of those things where we practice, and it may be where that may be just slightly downhill. So we may have to do an extra adjustment on that, or we may be hitting mid club even though we're in minimum range. But this hole right here, this par 4, we definitely have an opportunity to pick up a shot on this hole. As the week goes on, I am absolutely going to explore, like, what are our chances of being able to get over to the other side to pick up the eagle where we're on the other side and we're taking a short chip or we're taking a putt, and see if that's a shot that can be replicated without getting in the drink. But anytime I see water out there, the risk for epic fail is super high. So that was hole 1 of Maple Bay, par 4. Thanks for watching.